What is good, fam? You know who I am, Wealthy Westbrooks, back with another video. If you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and join the tribe. And if you've been tuned in, then you already know the vibe. Listen, this is the #1 killer of masculinity right now. You're listening, bro. Your masculinity is being threatened. Okay? It's your need for validation instead of sticking on your purpose and staying true to your purpose. I'm going to say that again. The #1 killing thing, the #1 killing symptom, the #1 problem, the #1 toxic trait, the #1 problem killing masculinity and threatening masculinity today is their need, right? So maybe this is you, your need for validation rather than staying on your purpose. Let me break this down. Let me explain. So make sure you watch this video all the way to the end. See, when a man is living for validation, he's living for the approval of others. He's trying to please other people. He's trying to make sure that they're okay with it, and they're okay with it, and she's okay with it, and he's okay with it. He's concerned with how he's perceived, right? So when you're concerned about how you're perceived, rather than being on your purpose, you're not being your authentic self. And the problem with that is when you don't vibrate at a frequency of authenticity, people can sense it. They can detect that, right? That's when they're like, something's iffy about this person. That's when the vibe is off. That's when you're not even in congruence with your true essence. You tend not to even do well. Why? Because you're faking it. People can tell when you're being your natural self. And so when you're doing things in seeking approval and validation, you're not doing things from the core, right? You're not doing things from a place of desire, truly. You're not doing things from a place of, oh, I really want to do this. Oh, I'm really about this. I'm really standing on this. I'm coming from a place of true confidence. You're doing this because you think so-and-so is going to be happy about it. Or you're so-and-so is going to have an opinion about it or feel some type of way about it. So a lot of times people, men, right, specifically, right, in this example here, they deviate from their own morals, their own values, right? They deviate from their own purpose just to fit in, just to get approval, just to look a certain type of way, right? Let me give you some examples. Maybe you don't care about designer clothes, but you know that wearing designer clothes gives you a certain image. So you start to wear these designer clothes. Even though you don't really want to, it doesn't resonate with your soul, but because of the image that it portrays, right? And you want the validation of other people, you start wearing this designer clothing. Now, what does this do? This makes you feel like an imposter. You're not really being who you want to be. You're not really being who you're meant to be and who you desire to be, right? See, when you're walking in your purpose, you're walking with decision, right? Decisiveness. You're decisive. You know who you are. You know what you want. You know what you stand for. You know what you represent, right? Rather than when you're going for validation, you're iffy, you're wishy-washy, you're flaky, you're all over the map. You're drifting. People can pick up on this quickly, right? Let me give you another example. When it comes to women, I know a lot of you men struggle with women, you know, and so here's something that you guys got to deal with. When you're dealing with women, be yourself, love yourself. Don't care what she's talking about in her validation, but so many of you make that mistake, right? She's asking you about your favorite movie, your favorite type of food, your favorite genre, the clothing choices, your hobbies, the things you like to do, right? She's asking you about your life, right? And instead of you being real, and instead of you being authentic, and instead of you just telling her straight up what it is and what you stand for and what you're about and what you believe and what you don't like, right? You over here trying to please her, right? You trying to say everything that she wants to hear, right? You trying to give her sweet nothings in her ear, even if it's a lie, even if it's straight cap. Now you acting like a fool. Now you acting like an idiot because you're not even really being who you are. Why? Because you want to have her validation. You want to have her look at you a certain type of way and see you in a certain type of light, bro. Rather than being in your purpose, standing on your business, and whether she likes it or not, right? Having boundaries, right? Having standards, right? A real man is not going to bend and fold on those types of things. And so your masculinity is being threatened, family, every time you seek approval, every time you seek validation, every time you deviate from your true purpose, every time you just try to fit in with the crowd, every time you try to conform rather than going with what God's telling you to do, right? Every time you don't listen to your intuition and that divine calling, and you go with the masses or the trends, you lack real purpose in those moments. Right? Every time you do that, you lack substance. And so what happens when you step into your purpose? First of all, things become not necessarily easier, but you start to know what to do, right? When you're out here just trying to fake the funk, when you're out here just coming up with stuff and just doing things out of validation, you're constantly on the lookout for like, oh, I gotta always be impressing. I gotta always have a face on. I gotta always have on a facade, a front, bro. When you're just being real and you're really on your purpose, first of all, you're not concerned about the other opinions, right? You're not concerned about the petty feelings of others. You know where you're going. You know what you want. You know where you're headed, and you know the challenges and everything that comes with it, right? Inevitably, right? In a sense. So what that means is that gives you a certain level of calmness. See, that gives you a certain level of character. That gives you a certain level of collectiveness, right? That gives you a silent confidence, right? You don't have to be walking around screaming, being a clown, and being all extra, doing all the, just doing the most, right? You can just be calm, cool, and collected on your purpose. And the world right now, the media, the women, a lot of the things right now will distract you from that, bro. And it's not any of that. It's not their fault. That's what it's up to you. You have to control your mind. You have to control your mindset. You have to control the way you operate. You have to control your habits and your daily decisions. I'm not trying to get too deep into the rabbit hole, but you need to start thinking for yourself. You really need to start thinking for yourself. A lot of the times we're looking to the opinions of other people, and that's the problem. You're seeking validation from other people. So what do? You conform and you think, right? You tell them, you start to just adopt these beliefs that you don't even believe. You start telling people, oh yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, I agree with that. I believe in that. I think that. Why? Because you want the validation. But you don't really think that. You don't really feel that way. You actually don't agree with that. You disagree with that, right? And so you're afraid to stand alone. You're afraid to look like a fool, right? You're afraid to go against, right, the grain. You're afraid of conflict, right, rather than being on your purpose. Men who are on their purpose, they understand what comes with it. They understand people come and go. They understand that what needs to be done needs to get done. They don't miss. They have discipline. They instill and enforce their own tribulations, right? Like they put adversity on themselves, bro. You do things as a man on his purpose, whether you want to do it or not, because it needs to get done. If you're looking for the validation of other people, so-and-so might talk you out of what needs to be done. You might not do what needs to get done because of whatever, or whoever, or this is going on, or that's going on. You got this, oh, you got an invitation, oh, you got a call, oh, whoa. Now you're putting off priorities because you want the validation. Now you're skipping the gym because you want the validation. This is some food for thought. If this video helps you, make sure you comment below. I would love to know. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, join the tribe, follow me on Instagram, book a consultation, clarity call, link in the description. We got the Westbrook's method. I got the Authority Accelerator program. I just opened up the 3 a.m. club for all my insomniacs. If you can't sleep at night, join the club. I got my book out. It's on Amazon. New You Now, A Guide to Amazing Improvement. Listen, family, stay on your purpose. Stay on your purpose. Stay on your grind. Don't lose yourself trying to fit in. Don't lose yourself falling with the hype. Not everything that glitters is gold, family. Okay? The shiny object syndrome is real. Okay? Stay locked in. Stay on your grind, all right? And as always, stay happy, healthy, wealthy, blessed, and focus on success. And when you see me drop another video, you already know what to do, fam. Tap in. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Love you. Peace.